Hello, my delights. It's your girl, Delightful Debbie, your 15-year-old fashion designer, and we are back here for another tutorial. So for today, the outfit we'll be making is this dress that I'm about to show on the screen here. This beautiful dress with princess darts, with sleeves, with pockets, a 360 high-low circle skirt. It has everything. So yes, this we'll be making today, and this is actually a very special project because it's for Christmas. My family, they entrusted me to make all of our outfits to wear for Christmas this year. So yes, this is what I'll be making. This is the fabric that we'll be using. It's so luscious and beautiful. I love it so much. Now, for this dress, what you will be needing, let's say you're extra small to medium, you'll be needing about 4 to 5 yards. 5 is always safer. If you're large, extra large, 1X, 6 yards is the best for you. But if you're anything above the 2 or 3X, you'll be needing like 7 yards of fabric just to be on a safe side, because this skirt does take up a lot. But yeah, that's what we'll be needing. So we have all of my materials here, and without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. And also, don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. So guys, right now I have a piece that I'll be using to draft my pattern right here, because remember, this is a princess dart. We will need to do some pattern drafting. So I already marked my starting line, also aka the shoulder line. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is come down from our shoulder line to our bust point. For me, my bust point is 10 inches. So go ahead and take that measurement, keeping your tape roll at the starting line. Go to your under bust line. This is very important for the thing we'll be pattern drafting. Your under bust line, mine is about 13.5, and then I'll be going down to my waistline. But whatever my waist measurement is, I'm gonna add half an inch to it, because this dress is not exactly at your waist. It's a little bit below, so just go ahead and add half an inch to your waist measurement, which I went ahead to do right now. So go ahead and draw all your lines out. Hey guys, my mom is bothering me, but it's all right. So now I'm just marking them so I know which line is which. Shoulder line, bust line, under bust line, and waistline. Okay guys, so starting with the pattern drafting, the first thing we're going to do is mark our neckline. So I'm doing a regular 3x3 neckline. I went in by 3 inches. I'm going down by 3 inches as well. And then I'm just going to mark my curve. Whatever you want your neckline to be, if you want it to be wide, deep, just go ahead and mark that out. So the next thing that we're going to do after that is come to our shoulder line, and I'm gonna mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I'm gonna make my shoulder slope. I came down by 1 inch and marking it into the neckline. You guys already know how to do this, like I've shown y'all before. So after doing that, we're gonna go in to mark our chest line. So from the shoulder slope, I'm gonna come down by my chest line measurement. And if you guys don't know your chest line, just take your bust measurement, divide it by 6, and add 1.5 to it. That's how to get your chest line. So whatever that equals, just go ahead and mark it, and mark a line right there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, some disturbance is happening, but anyway, yeah, I just went ahead to mark my chest line, and then from the shoulder slope, just go ahead and mark it into and draw a line with your pencil into your chest line. So the next thing that we're going to do after that is we're going to take our armhole our measurement right there and divide it into 2, which for me is 4.4. Then I'm going to go in by 1 inches on my armhole, and then I'm going to come to the chest line and mark my bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm just going to connect all of those points together to give me my nice armhole. That's how to get a really nice armhole, guys. Just connect all of those points together. I'm just, trying to make it smoother with my pencil. But the reason I'm using a pencil for this particular step, guys, is because the armhole is going to change later on. So I don't want to mark it with my markers yet, if you get what I mean. You get it? You get it. Next, we're going to come down to our bust line and mark my bust span measurement. So whatever your bust span is, or you might know it as nipple to nipple, you're going to mark it divided by 2. So mine is 3.75. So I'm just going to mark it on my bust line, my under bust line, and my waistline, and mark a straight line across those 3 lines. So guys, after doing that, it's now time to get into our dart. But guys, you know this is not like a regular dart that we do. This is a princess dart, so there will be some differences. So the first thing you're going to do is that from the underbust line and the waistline, you're going to mark about 1/2 inch on this side towards the front. Go ahead and mark 1/2 inch. And then on the other side of the line, we're gonna mark about 1.5 inches. But if you're not very busty, you can mark 1.25. But if you are, you can mark 1.75 or even 2 inches. But I'm just gonna go ahead and mark 1.5 inches for myself. So just go ahead and mark that and also make another straight line on that side. So after doing that, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do, and guys, please pay attention to this. You're going to use your curved ruler and you're going to mark a curve from that line all the way up to your bust line where the line stopped. Do that on both sides. Just watch what I'm doing. Mark the curved line all the way up just like that. So now that we've gotten that, the next thing that we are going to go ahead and do is go up by about 1/2 inch there and just mark a straight line to our chest line 1/2 inch up. So now, my delights, after marking that line right there that connected, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is come over to our armhole again, and I'm just going to mark the measurement of the curve of my armhole right here. So now that I've marked that, I'm going to divide that measurement by 2. I'm just going to divide that by 2 and go ahead and put it on the line so that I can mark it right there with my pencil where that mark is. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to connect that dot into the dart. So I'm just going to take my curved ruler here, and from that line, I'm going to use it to connect into the dart that we have already created here. So just go ahead and watch what I'm doing as I'm connecting it into that line. Yes, and that's how we're making our princess dart bustier, guys. So after doing that, the next thing that we have to do is actually create like a real dart out of it. So on both sides of that blue line, I'm just going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'm using a different marker just for emphasis, guys, on that. I'm just going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of the line. And I'm going to use those points as well to connect into the darts that we had already created, as you can see right here. Yes, so that we're going to connect that right there. Yes, so as you guys can see, it's already looking really, really beautiful. So from the bottom line right there, I'm just going to use my tape roll and connect 1 inch from that line right there. And with my ruler, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it. I'm going to extend it by 1 inch so that we can create our new armhole. And where the armhole stopped there, I'm also going to add 1 inch. From that point right there where our original armhole stopped, I'm adding 1 inch as well. So then those 2 points, we're just going to go ahead and connect it, which is giving us our new armhole for this princess dart right there. That's why I did it in pencil originally, guys, because I knew we were going to get rid of that armhole anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark and cross out our old armhole because that is not what we'll be using anymore. So guys, we're almost done marking out our pattern. Now it's time to go ahead and fill in our body measurements. So that small dart right there, I'm just going to take the measurement of that and add it on that side. That was about 1/4 inch. I'm going to add it. So now I'm going to come down to my waistline. Sorry, guys. Now I'm going to come down to my waistline, and I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4, which is about 8.25. I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4. And then the dart that we have here on the waistline, I'm just going to take that measurement, which is 2 inches for me, and I'm just going to replace it on the side as well. So then I'm going to use my ruler to connect those points together to give the basic bodice. So yes, I'm just going to go ahead and connect those points. I'm going to extend that line right there. So guys, now that we've gone ahead to do that, we have literally finished drafting out our princess dart. So guys, I'm not going to add seam allowance right now. I'm going to add it when I'm cutting on my fabric. But yeah, we have drafted out our basic bodice. So now it is time to go ahead and cut everything out. So guys, just watch all the lines where you can see me cutting. I'm cutting the neckline, the shoulder, around the side, the bottom, everything, around the armhole as well, and then yeah. And we're cutting and we're cutting. So now guys, getting to the important part right here. We just cut everything out. So what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna cut my armhole out right here, as you can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut on that pink line right there. So for the center, I'm gonna cut on the first pink line that we have drawn, and then I'm gonna cut on the blue line right there, as you can see me doing. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna cut on that pink line and then the blue line. Right now guys, we're just taking away our darts, as you can see. So yes, I'm cutting that out and cutting on the blue line. So guys, now we have both our pieces cut out. So now it is time to go into our back piece. So y'all, I finished cutting out my front pieces and I added seam allowance all the way around, as you guys can see. But I have this piece here that I'll be using for my back piece, and I'm not doing for this outfit, the back is not going to be a princess dart. It's just going to be a regular basic back bodice. So yeah, so I'm just going to mark on my fabric directly. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in the zipper allowance, because y'all, this dress is going to be having a zipper allowance. But I'm going to mark my shoulder line right here, and then I'm gonna mark about 1.5 inches from the center of my fabric, so that can be the zipper allowance. So I'm just going ahead to mark that, and then I'm gonna label it zip. And yeah, I went ahead to mark my straight line at the top right there. So zip. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my neckline. So I'm going to do a regular 3-inch neckline by 1.5, because this is the back neckline. So we will only be needing to do a 1.5-inch depth. And after that, I'm going to come from the zipper allowance line and mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then connect that into the neckline. Now, guys, I realized while I was doing this, I forgot to mark all of my lines, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. I mark my bust line and my waistline, so just go ahead and do that. Don't forget to do that. I realized it, so I just quickly went to do that. So after getting that done, from the shoulder slope, we're going to mark our chest line, which is our bust divided by 6, and you add 1.5 to that measurement. So go ahead and mark it, and then draw a straight line from the shoulder slope to the chest line. So after doing that, we're going to divide that area by 2, go in by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to come to my chest line and mark my bust measurement divided by 4. And connect all of those points together. And y'all, if y'all haven't watched the video that I just posted about pattern drafting, go ahead and watch that now, so you can know how to make a back piece. Yeah, so so after doing that, I'm going to come to my chest line here, and I'm going to mark my bust span measurement divided by 2 on my chest line and waistline, and draw a line. And like I said in the other video, guys, that we're not going to be, going down by any inches. I'm just going to go out by 1/2 inch on each side and mark it directly all the way up to the chest line, because remember, this is the back piece. So after doing that, the next thing that we're going to do is take our bust measurement divided by 4 on the bust line. And I'm going to add stitching allowance. I'm adding about 2 inches of stitching allowance, because I will be adding lining to this and to connect it on the side. So my waist measurement divided by 4, my dart intake, which is 1 inch, and then my stitching allowance, which is 2 inches. Go ahead and mark all of those points and connect it with your curved ruler. So y'all, we have finished drafting my basic back piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut everything out, and make sure you add some stitching allowances on the armhole, on the shoulder, on the neckline, and on the bottom as well. And then cut open your zipper allowance. So my delights, after going ahead to cut that out, the last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to remove the bulging on the zipper allowance. So I'm just going to come to my zipper allowance here and take away about 1/2 inch at the waist area. Just take away 1/2 inch and then draw a straight line, a slanted line into the rest of the zipper allowance so that we can remove bulging on there. So just go ahead and cut it out and then cut open the rest of your zipper allowance, and that is how you cut your back pieces. Looks very nice and neat. So after this, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and start on our sleeve. So my delights, I have this piece right here that will be just enough to cut out my sleeve. I'm just going to do a basic simple sleeve right here, nothing special. It's just the sleeve. So I already went ahead to mark my straight line at the top there. So the first thing that we're going to do is also make sure you have a good measurement in mind. I have about 10 inches on fold because it'll be enough to account for my armhole. And the length, I have about 12 inches because I want the sleeve to stop above my elbow, and that's the measurement that I'll be using. But whatever measurement you want, just go ahead and measure it on your body, and you got that. So it'll come down to around 10 inches when I finish hemming and everything. So I'm going to mark this in half, the 10 inches that I have in half, and then I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches from the middle. We're just going to be doing the basic sleeve that I show you guys on my channel. And then from the top of the fabric, I'm just going to go ahead and make an S shape with my chalk. And what I'm explaining here, guys, is the cap of your sleeve. Like, you know how I went down by 3.5 inches? You can go down by however many inches that you want to go down by, but I'm just going down by 3.5 because that's what I want the cap to be. But if you want a little bit bigger, you can go down by 4 inches or even 5, but 5 might be a little too much for you, but 3 or 3.5 should be perfectly fine. So I went ahead to shape my armhole out, and then I'm going to come to my elbow area, which is the bottom of my sleeve, and I'm going to take my elbow measurement divided by 2, and I'm going to add a few inches for ease and stitching allowance because I don't want it to be too fitted. And I'm just going to double check the measurement on my outfit with the measurement of my sleeve right here, as you can see. So I just went ahead to mark that, and I'm using my ruler to make the slanted line. And just go ahead to cut everything out, guys. Very simple and easy sleeve. And then go ahead and cut out your second one as well. So, y'all, now we're getting into cutting and drafting out the skirt. Yay! Whoa! No. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to be drafting out the skirt. So there are a few things that you guys need to know about the skirt. The first thing is how to fold your fabric. Obviously, you know this is a 360-degree skirt, but obviously because the length will not be accommodated for the fabric, we're not going to be cutting it into 4 like we usually, folding it into 4 like we usually do because we can't really get that. So what you're going to do is whatever fabric you're using, Ankara or crepe or something, you're going to fold it in half by the length of what you will need to cut out your skirt. So the length of the fabric that I needed, as I'm about to show you guys now, I have a really big piece of fabric here that I'll be using to cut out the skirt because I've already folded it for both the back and front. So the length of the fabric that I was using for mine was about 45, and that's because I took the length of what I would need to get the waist of my circle, and then I took the length of the actual skirt itself to be able to accommodate for it. If you don't understand what I'm saying, let me explain. Take your waist divided by 4, whatever that is, add about 1 inch to it. So I have 9. So on the edge of my fabric, I made a curve like we usually do when we're drafting out a peplum, I made a curve to see. I'm about to put my tape roll there. I made a curve right here to see how much from the top I would be taking away. And whatever that measurement is, I would be adding the length of the skirt and about 2 inches of seam allowance to that measurement so that I can get what I need to cut out the skirt, which for me ended up to be around 45 inches because my skirt was about 36, 38 inches. So that's how you do it. So you're going to have 45 by 45 on each side on fold. But it doesn't have to be on 4. It can be on 2, and then you fold it again on 4, which is one of the main reasons we will use about 5 to 6 yards of fabric for this outfit, because the skirt does take up a lot. So as you can see, I have 45 and 45 on both sides to be able to accommodate for how much fabric I need. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So also, like I said, we're not cutting on the area where all 4 of it is folded, because we do, as you can see, I laid my fabric on top of each other like here, and both of them are folded in half. And that's the corner I will be cutting at, because I need to accommodate for the pockets and for the back, because we're going to be joining it on the sides. It's not going to be one big piece. So I hope you guys understand everything that I just explained to you. So now that we've gotten that, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and start cutting. So like I said before, take your waist measurement divided by 4. We're cutting on the corner there. So take your waist measurement divided by 4, whatever that is, and you're gonna add about 1.5 inches to that measurement. Add about 1.5 inches to that measurement to accommodate for the zipper allowance and sewing on the sides. So then you're gonna make that curve right there, just approximately, and you're gonna use your chalk to mark the point where that curve is right there. And then you're going to measure from the top of your fabric to that point, and I have 7 inches here, and I'm going to use that 7 inches to make a curve all the way around to get the waist of my skirt. To be able to get the waist of my skirt, just use that 7 inches all the way around, and then connect all of those points together. So now, my delights, after going ahead to do that, we're now going to measure the length of our skirt. So from that waistline there, we're just going to measure all the way down to the inches that you want your skirt to be. I'm measuring mine at 36 inches here. That's already with seam allowance attached and everything. And then just go ahead and make that curve all the way around. And because of the way we folded our fabric, there won't be any needing for joining on the ends, you guys, because of, the way we folded it. So just measure that all the way around your fabric right there, and go ahead and cut it out. Just leave some allowances on the top for the waist. Just go ahead and cut everything out, and then I will show you how to cut the front. So after doing that now, my delights, I went ahead to separate my front from my back piece. So right now, we only have the front piece here that we are working with. So the reason why we're doing this is because we want to cut the high effect on the front of the skirt. So this is actually very simple. So what you're going to do is that you're going to take the measurement of where you want the high part to be. So let's say you want it at your knee. You would take the measurement from your waist to your knee, and those are the inches that you would use for the high part. But whatever you want that measurement to be, just go ahead and take it on your body. So for me, I'm doing, my knee is about 23, my waist to my knee is about 23 inches. So for the high part, I'm going to do about 25 or thereabout for myself, so that it can be like about a little bit lower than my knee, like 2 inches lower than my knee. So I'm just going to take that measurement on my fabric right here, and whatever measurement you're going to use, you just have to go ahead and mark it with your chalk. So after doing that, you're going to come to the edge of the bottom of your skirt, and I'm gonna go out by about, yeah, I'm just gonna come to the edge here, and I'm gonna go out by about 12 inches, 18 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna do like 15 to 18 inches here and mark right there because I don't want the high part to go exactly into the side of my dress. So I'm just changing it to about 12 inches here so that I can still look really subtle and nice, and it'll just go smoothly into the edge of my dress. And from that point to the point of our knee that we marked, I'm just gonna make like a curve. It can be a slanted line, it can be a curved line, whatever line you would like it to be, but I'm just gonna make mine about like a curved line, and I'm just gonna curve it into that part to get the high effect on our skirt. So after doing that, you're just going to go ahead and cut everything out. Very simple and easy, and it always ends up turning out really cute, the high effect on the skirt. So my delights, now we have finished all of the pattern drafting and cutting for this outfit in particular. As you can see, I have my sleeve here, I have my back piece here that we pattern drafted, and I cut lining pieces for all of these except the sleeve. I cut lining for the skirt and for all the top pieces, and I have my bodice pieces here. I just want to add to add 1/2 inch of seam allowance all around the center front, which I went ahead to cut on fold. And I added 1/2 inch all the way around, and then on the side I added about 2 inches, and this I added about 1/2 inch all the way around. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Come back next time for my next tutorial on how to sew this dress. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and stay tuned for part 2.